Good morning, everybody. It is a good XNS Insolar morning. I tell you what, 28% up. So what's the deal? Man, green across the board. That looks nice. We're back in the millions. 1.3 million market cap. 1.1 24-hour trading volume. 1246 on CoinGecko's market cap ranking. All right. So I guess let's just start with Telegram. I love this right here. If you haven't seen this little thing, when I saw it, man, I laughed forever. Took my paid course. I'm ready to trade crypto. Man, crypto is the wild, wild west. Even if you've been in stocks and you come over, man, you could get wrecked quick. And this, I watched this as, if you've never been liquidated on a leverage trade, then you don't really know the pain of this, but this is what it reminded me of. Man, I'm kicking ass. Oh, I just discovered leverage trading on a bad day. 93%, 95%, you've been liquidated. Anyway, I thought that was funny. So the hype. It's right here. Things have changed a little bit. We can see Mainnet, the Observer. I'll get to that in a second. But this is on GitHub. And somebody posted this on Telegram. So here's a bunch of Insolar members and their recent activity on GitHub. So we got 43, 57, 27, 37, 31, 19, 22, 24. Busy, can you tell? And so on. So people are asking, why is this good news? And so on and this. And we continue on down. And we get to here. So, Insolar on GitHub. You can see right now the Observer was last updated 2 hours ago. Mainnet 20 hours ago. And then before that, we really hadn't seen any kind of updates, I don't think, since December. The links will be below, by the way. And that subscribe video in the beginning, it's supposed to be 5 seconds, not 10, so that'll change. Don't worry, you don't have to suffer through that every time. Do you like it, though? I thought it was kind of neat. Then I don't have to say it all the time. Let's see, here's the Insolar Observer GitHub.com page. And really, I mean, nothing on here has changed 2 months ago. Same with the Mainnet. I just updated these 2 months ago. But on here you can see that there's activity on both. And Observer is the blockchain data beautifier. And then Mainnet, we've talked about, I think it's right here, Mainnet Release. So Insolar's radical changes to Mainnet coinomics will take place upon the latest release, December 3rd, 2020. Total supply will be 500 million XNS, no vesting, all XNS in circulation. This is what we're waiting on. So the date, and a couple of the dates I've noticed as I've gone through information on Insolar have pushed a little bit. And, they're working on a pretty grand project here. And we're going to talk about it pretty in depth today. So, sit back, get your coffee, Coca-Cola, whatever you got, and we're just going to go through it. All right, so burning of non-community pools, the removal of vesting. Insolar XNS will no longer be subject to vesting. Coin holders will have access to and be able to transfer their coins immediately. XNS coins will be tradable on exchanges. Coins will be unvested December 3rd, 2020, okay? And these links are below, and you can check out. There's also more links in here to their Facebook, Reddit, Insolar's website, Twitter, so on. Okay. Here's the contract address in reference, right? And we can see that 2 days ago now, we have Binance. But since then, we have different addresses. These used to be Binance. So I'm not quite sure what these are. And we're still busy. 6 hours ago was the latest transaction. I'm not really sure. There's some chitter back and forth on Telegram as to speculation on where those go. But until I have something a little more definitive, I think maybe we'll just say that we don't know. Let's see the latest on Telegram as we speak. So Yeah, people are really excited. We're coming up on a penny right now, which was a pretty good point of resistance, I believe, in the past. Yeah, let's see. Let's go a little closer here. But we seem to be doing pretty good today. We'll get back to that, though. All right, so the Twitter, no update. And this seems to be when they have official stamped announcement, they're going to slap it on Twitter, right? And we saw that with the Bitmax, and then we saw that with Bicky, both in January. The Insolar Mainnet maintenance. All right, so we talked about that. So, role allocation, a beeline for scaling and security in distributed ledger networks. So really, what is Insolar? Why do people like it? There has been much debate and the discussion as to how DLT platforms can scale while maintaining security. Insolar has adopted an innovative and novel approach to this issue, a multi-role for computing, block building, and data storage. But how does this translate into greater platform security and bring about linear scaling? We can consider Insolar networks as a complex adaptive system similar to a beehive. Different parts of the system have different responsibilities. Like bees in a apian superorganism, let's explore how these roles. All right, so what is the multi-role model? Insolar's utilization of multi-role model means that each computer or node connected to the network has a specific function. Each node that participates has a single static, or that's all it does, static, right? Not dynamic, that defines its primary purpose, in addition to a set of dynamically assigned roles, right? Those are the ones that change. Before diving into what dynamic roles are, let's talk about static. So there's virtual nodes, light material nodes, and heavy material nodes. Virtual nodes are like the worker bees of Insolar networks. They do not store any data, compute quickly, can easily join and leave networks, and don't need data recovery. These nodes perform calculations, which involve the processing of smart contracts and the validation of the results of these calculations, in addition to receiving and handling requests to execute contracts, and then subsequent execution and validation of the contracts. Virtual nodes handle contract-related data encryption and enhance computational capabilities. Light material nodes can be considered as a type of worker bee for Insolar networks, cleaning, maintaining, and building on the network. They have disk drives and are able to store data, and they automatically collect frequently accessed data following a restart. These nodes work solely with the data provided and requested by virtual nodes, and retrieve data from the cold storage when requested by virtuals. As such, light material nodes are responsible for building blocks, managing data access, and carrying out audits and providing a cache for recent data. Light material nodes in Insolar networks are tasked with reading the latest contract state and generating updates, creating new records. Their function enables scalability of network throughput by performing data retrieval and storage operations for virtual nodes, while redirecting requests to relevant material nodes when the required data is not available. Light material nodes carry out maintenance of the most recent or hot data, duplicating and recovering requests where virtual nodes undergo failures. Moreover, they assist heavy material nodes, more on these below, by serving a temporary backup and cache for individual blocks. Overall, we can call light material nodes the facilitators of network throughput. They handle the data that has been computed and retain it for quick access where the data is used frequently, or pass it to the heavy material nodes. So the heavy material nodes are something akin to the honey stores of a beehive. These are the storage units, which require recovery and content revalidation, proof of storage, both periodically and upon rejoining the network. In Insolar networks, these nodes provide long-term data storage and scalability of storage capacity, since heavy material nodes can store large amounts of data, meaning the more of these nodes that are added, the greater capacity for storage on the entire network. Heavy material nodes are stored for major data, holding all data received from light material nodes. They check the integrity of this data, but cannot add or change the data itself and cannot form blocks. Moreover, heavy material nodes ensure that required level of block replication and the maximum data density, the scattering, to reduce the impact of data leakage. Heavy material nodes differ from other nodes in that they store lots of data and must take additional measures to mitigate the loss or corruption of data and data leakage caused by the accumulation of too much data on a single node. Moreover, an additional enhanced backup for system failure is implemented, which archival storage nodes that do not burden the main Insolar network consensus. Okay, so those are the static roles. Dynamic roles. Different worker bees in Hive have different roles. There's builders, cleaners, undertakers, and so on. Similarly, some nodes with static roles in the Insolar networks can also be allocated dynamic roles that change at each network synchronization event or pulse, the time period in which transactions can be executed and validated. Both virtual and light material nodes are able to assume dynamic roles. Heavy material nodes cannot be assigned dynamic roles. In essence, all nodes take part in two kinds of execution and validation, depending on their dynamic roles, virtual and material. Heavy material nodes rely on validation performed by light material ones. Virtual nodes can be assigned the role of virtual executor and virtual validator. Virtual executors handle executions of custom smart contracts or instances and objects and build new object states. Meanwhile, virtual validators verify the virtual executor's actions from previous pulses, network syncs. Light material nodes can be assigned as material executors, material validators, and material stashes. Material executors form new blocks and hold the cache for hot data to facilitate quick access to data in previously formed blocks. Material validators check the block's validity and consistency. Material stashes cache hot data and relevant indices, which are the current states of all the objects, and syncs these indices among other stash nodes. A node can have multiple dynamic roles. For example, a virtual node can be selected via the entropy, the randomness factor contained in the pulses, to be an executor for one data object and validator for another. Dynamic roles are assigned to enable dynamic and straightforward scaling of the network, require minimal preparation to become operational, and get new workload allocations, while dynamic roles of all nodes change with every pulse. Okay, so you can read this. We pretty much went through almost all of it. So that should give you an understanding of the roles. Insolar network staking economics. We are pleased to announce that staking will be enabled on the Insolar mainnet. So before we said no, which was February 1st. So this should have went first, by the way. First, they said yes, and then they changed it to no. Okay. Because they've changed that coinomics from 1 million. Oh, let's see. I could be wrong on this. Anyway, let's see what it says. Insolar is the leading platform for building and running public blockchain solutions for business. Insolar enables linear scalability starting at 20,000 transactions per second on a network of 20 nodes, and the capability to scale over to 1 million transactions per second on larger networks. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. So the staking inflation deflation, I don't know if it's deflate. It doesn't deflate. It goes to zero. So BFT systems need 66% agreement of network nodes to reach consensus, but we have made an additional buffer to guarantee security. As such, they have a target stake range of 67 to 73%. Okay, right here. So if the percentage of the coin staked is less than 67%, the inflation rate will increase until it reaches a maximum of 20%. And they're aiming for the mean of these, right? The median. If the percentage of the coin supply staked exceeds their range, the inflation rate will drop all the way down until it gets to the zero or the floor. And if the percentage of the coin staked is within the range, then it won't change. That's where this is the optimal range of staking. Staking yields, delegation staking rewards are calculated on a daily basis and be claimed at any time. The minimum delegation stake size is 1 XNS. Newly made delegations will start generating rewards from midnight, the start of the day after they were staked. The stake unlocked period is 7 days. After sending a withdrawal request, delegators need to wait 7 days for the stake to become liquid again. During the stake unlock period, rewards are not generated. So you got to wait 7 days, but you're not getting rewards on those times. There's a couple questions about people not being able to get staking rewards and stuff. I haven't looked and tried, so that's what this is for. I had seen something that said they were going to stop with the mainnet and then this, so I'm not really sure if this helps, and I'll check into it more. Here's the Insolar Wallet address. So Insolar, this is 10 months ago. Pilot blockchain for distributed energy resources in Canada. Yesterday, enterprise blockchain firm Insolar announced it is collaborating with Canada's Toronto and Region Conservatory Authority. Toronto and Region Conservation Authority. This is their website. I didn't see anything about Insolar on here, but I didn't look through everything they had. There was a lot of information. But the link will be below if you want to check it out. And this is a pilot uses for distributed energy resources such as solar and wind. The goal is to develop a mechanism complementary to Ontario's long-term energy plan and boost the energy of renewable energy. Renewable energy is going to be big as everything grows. We see that with Tesla and everything else. So, Insolar's assured ledger platform will be used to enable the integration of renewable energy sources into the existing electrical system. DERs are often used in local microgrids, but they can also be connected to the local distribution systems to meet excess electricity demands. Anyway, you can finish this if you want. Here is another project, the Sustainable Technologies Evaluation Program. Insolar has a part with that, or they've worked with that. Insolar Blockchain partners with Microsoft, Oracle, and InnoSuisse. 1 year ago, yesterday, enterprise blockchain platform Insolar said it is collaborating with Microsoft, Oracle, and National Innovation Agencies of Switzerland, UK, and Germany. The announcement comes ahead of the launch of Insolar's public blockchain network, Mainnet, on November 1st. So this is what I was talking about. This says November, the other one said December, and here we are, February. And yeah. Switzerland-based Insolar is an open-source blockchain platform. The protocol serves businesses in the supply chain and logistics, energy, retail, and automotive sectors. The selling point of the blockchain platform is that it can be deployed as a public or private network and use a public network to link private networks. It is also interoperable with Hyperledger Fabric and plans to support Corda and Ethereum interoperability. The partnership with Microsoft and Oracle is for the integration of the Insolar platform with their respective cloud services like Azure, Oracle Cloud, and I think that there's AWS is in there too now. I saw that on one of their other pages for one of the clouds. Meanwhile, Insolar has partnered with InnoSuisse, UK Energy Innovation Center, and the German Energy Agency. The company said it is in the process of launching its transactive energy system in Switzerland with support from innovation agency InnoSuisse and other partners. The transactive energy system uses blockchain to connect energy producers, prosumers, and utility companies for secure and fast energy transactions. Earlier this year, Insolar tested its energy platform in collaboration with Canada's Hero Engineering. This system was also recognized by the Startup Energy Transition, which is backed by the UN World Energy Council. Insolar partners with Uranium One to explore blockchain trading. Earlier this week, blockchain firm Insolar announced a partnership with Canadian miner Uranium One to explore distributed ledger technology for the uranium market. The research project aims to enable improvements in both the supply chain and the commodity trade settlement. Uranium One is a unit of Russians Rosatom and the state nuclear energy company, and is one of the top uranium miners in the world. Currently, much like the rest of the commodities market, uranium trade is conducted using paper, hence it's inefficient and time consuming. A majority of the world's uranium is produced in Kazakhstan, Canada, Australia, and Namibia. Sorry. Owing to the sensitive nature of uranium trade, miners and traders have to meticulously furnish documents for cross-border transactions. Insolar said blockchain could be an ideal solution to provide a trusted and standardized format, including share governance. We are exploring the potential that implementation of novel technologies can offer in a very specific area of our operations. So, anyway, you can continue this article. And we can see right here, the company blockchain solution can be deployed as a private or public network. Last year, Ledger Insight reported that Insolar was integrating its blockchain platform with cloud services Microsoft and Oracle. Blockchain is revolutionizing commodity markets by providing a better audit trail and compliance. There's also the opportunity to tokenize assets, and Russian commodities company Nornickel has plans to do so. Canada's MineHub has launched its supply chain blockchain platform for the metals and mining industry. The solution has developed with support from ING, Wheaton Precious Metals, Newmont Goldcorp, and others. The World Economic Forum has formed a mining consortium with Glencore, Tata Steel, De Beers, and few others. It aims to enable supply chain transparency, develop sustainability solutions for the metals and mining industry, and IBM set up the responsible sourcing blockchain network, initially focused on cobalt, and includes Ford, Volkswagen, Volvo, Glencore, and others. So the expanded roadmap for 2021 of Insolar. Well, Mainnet 1.0 has it in quarter 3 of 2019. Mainnet 2.0, the second version of Mainnet, was released quarter 2 2020. Mainnet 3.0. Insolar Mainnet 3.0 is planned to be launched in the second half of 2020 and will offer network participants the possibility to implement distributed transactions. The framework will also provide staking mechanisms for participation of third-party nodes and for application developers. Basic version of governance mechanisms for smart contract updates will also be implemented. In addition, users will be able to monitor resource usage statistics. And then here we have 2021 EnterpriseNet. EnterpriseNet shall feature the first versions of domains which would govern smart contract deployment, management, and execution. In the future, domains will facilitate contract execution across different instances of clouds, hybrid blockchains, and interoperability with other DLTs, as well as control over which data are stored in which locations. These will be application toolkits for billing, payments, claims, and liabilities, plus a naming and service for addressing among entities within clouds, contracts, and domains. In addition, Insolar EnterpriseNet will provide cloud and domain registry, and participants will be able to buy hardware capacity via the first version of the capacity marketplace. And you can read more about this here. Let's see, full roadmap. Okay, so that was a pretty deep dive into most of this. And there are, let's go to the full roadmap. Build your applications on developer-friendly and enterprise-ready platform as a service. We've built Insolar with everything you need. Create applications faster, ensure privacy, choose how you deploy, build with advanced tools, learn and collaborate, and enjoy adaptive architecture. And we can see here's Microsoft, AWS, Google Cloud, IBM Cloud, and more. Custom platform walkthrough. So here's more information if you want more about, here's documentation, GitHub, platform architecture. Actually, let's go look at the architecture one. So below is a platform architecture diagram aimed to address the interconnect layers. The architecture has multiple components and consensuses to address the complexity and variety of the requirements. So here's Cloud N, here's your Cloud N plus 1, and you could have, out plus 1, and so on. All components communicate via messaging to achieve respective consensuses and use pulses to stay in sync. Clouds organize and unify software capabilities, hardware capabilities, and financial and legal liability of nodes to ensure seamless operation of business services. The Insolar platform transparently connects multiple clouds, and each cloud is governed independently by the community, the company, the industry consortia, a national agency, and so on. Multiple clouds can unite into a federation of Insolar networks. The cloud itself establishes governance of both network operations and business logic. The network and components deployed during node setup, bootstrap configuration, globular discovery and split protection protocols, node activation and deactivation protocols with the list of currently active nodes and blacklisted ones, and real-time detection of protocols of execution fraud. Special domain that is stored by the cloud itself and carries rigid confirmation and rules. Procedures for registering and deregistering nodes, post-execution and fraud detection procedures, compensation and penalization procedures, marketplace rules for processing capacity. And I'll put this link below. Domains, globulars, multi-roles. This will explain everything. We talked about static roles. Neutral nodes participate in the network consensus but don't receive any workload automatically distributed by the Insolar network. Neutral nodes serve particular functions: API exposure, block explorer support, discovery support, and key management. We talked about virtual nodes, light material nodes, heavy material nodes, dynamic roles. I think we talked about contracts, execution. So anyway, if you want a little bit more in-depth, like really in-depth, it's right here. This link will be below. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to go. And there we go, bouncing off a penny. But hopefully not too far. I think that good things are going to be, it's going to be a good weekend for Insolar, and a happy Valentine's Day for sure. One last peek across the board before I end our video today. Happy, happy, joy, joy. I'll be honest, when I first got in the Insolar Telegram, I wasn't having the most fun watching and reading what people have to say, but it's changed a lot, and I've kind of, it's grown on me, I'll tell you. They're a no-nonsense group, let's say that. If you come in here trying to shill your coin, talk about something off topic, they will let you know. Alright then, let the Insolar action begin.